Welcome to Between Both Cheeks, the podcast where we talk business, beauty, and butts. We'll be stripping down the aesthetics industry, whether you're here for spicy beauty tips, savvy business advice, or just a little banter. We've got you covered from front to back. So pull up a cheek and get ready to discover what happens between both cheeks.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Between Both Cheeks. This is the final episode of the year, and I'm actually recording it in the PP Islands of Thailand because this is where I decided to come for the entire month of December. It is my Eat, Pray, Love trip, and on this episode, because we are ramping up to the end of the year, I wanted to talk to you guys about goal setting and what that looks like, and just reflecting on the year that you've had. I know that we all get really, really busy, and we always say, where did the time go? Where did the time go? I can't believe it's December. I can't believe it's Christmas. I can't believe it's almost the new year. But what do we really actually do to reflect on what our year looked like, what we loved about it, what we didn't love about it, and what we should be changing so we don't get stuck in bad habits? So get out your pens and papers, and this is what we're going to do. So a little bit of homework for you guys. I want you to vision the life that you want. That is number one. What is the life that you want? I need you to write this down. And then from there, what are your core values and what is important to you? So what do you value and what is important? Step number two, what are you passionate about and what brings you joy? So in this, I want you to take a look at, what do you do for you? You know, I know that a lot of you guys are business owners out there, and we do a lot of things for other people, whether it be our team, our children, or your children, not my children, I don't have any. Your team, your children, your customers, your clients, partners, spouses, family. What do you do for you that brings you joy? And is it something that you've kind of swept under the rug because there's no time to do it? So whether that means going for a workout, going to a yoga class, reading a book, you know, being part of a club, whatever that looks like, is there something that you are not doing any longer because you don't have time for it? Think about that. Because if that brings you joy and you're not doing it, let's look at that. Here's a good one. Who should I avoid in order to live a happier and more fulfilling life? This is a big one, and it usually opens up a huge can of worms because we live in a society where family is family, blood is blood. I have to support my family. I have to put up with this, or they've been my friend for so long that I can't end the relationship, even though it's toxic and they do not fill my cup. I'm in a relationship that maybe I don't want to be in, but we've been together for so long. How can I leave? There could be reasons that I feel that I can't leave because of a financial situation, because of children, because of that. We tend to stay in very toxic relationships because we don't think we can do it. We don't think that we can do it on our own, and we are afraid of change. And one thing that I want you to remember is, and I'm speaking as a woman to women in this part of the podcast, we always seem to figure shit out, ladies. I've seen it time and time again. I have a girlfriend that has separated from her husband. She is a single mother. She has figured it out and came from a place where she didn't think that she'd be able to do that. Having the child, leaving the relationship, financial stability, what's going to happen. This child's going to grow up without a within a broken home, if you will, we always figure it out. It always works out in the end, and we don't give ourselves enough credit. Women are amazing creatures that figure shit out. We are the problem solvers. So, question to think of: who or what should I avoid in order to live a happier and more fulfilling life? This is a big one. Think about this before you take people and things that are negative into the new year. Sit with this. Goal setting. Okay, so we're coming up on the end of the year. How do you set goals is something that I'm always asked. So we're going to break it down. All right, pen and paper again. I want you to write down 10 goals. Sorry, let's start again. I want you to take a clean sheet of paper and I want you to write goals on the top of the sheet. And I want you to write today's date. And then under that, I want you to write down 10 goals that you have. Okay? 10 goals that you want to accomplish within the next 10 months. What does that look like? Is it to get into a relationship? Is it to leave a relationship? Is it to make more money? Is it to change your job? Is it to buy a new car? Is it to go on vacation? What are those goals? 10 goals. Write them down. I want you to write these goals in the present tense. So this is where people sometimes have a tough time with it. You have to act as if it's already happened. So let's say you are a solopreneur, you're renting a room, and you want to get inside of a larger studio, you want a storefront. You need to write down, I have a storefront location in this area. Be very specific with it. So try to write down the goals. I drive a, what is your dream car that you want? I go on vacation to Disneyland every year. I have lost 20 pounds. Whatever that is, write it in the present tense. Okay, this might take some time. It's worth it. Trust me. Present tense, your goals. I want you to take this 10 list of goals. And if I said to you, I want you to review them, and I want you to pick one of these goals that would greatly, greatly impact and change my life. If I could have this one goal come true today, this would impact my life in such a positive way. And that's the goal that you circle, and it'll jump out at you completely. It should be very easy when you look at your 10 things. This one should jump out at you completely. You take that goal, we transfer that to a new clean sheet of paper, and now we start making an action plan on that goal. Okay, so brand new sheet of paper, you write this one at the top, present tense please, and then we're going to go through the steps. So I want you to write it down. Okay, new sheet of paper. I want you to set a deadline. So if you do not set a deadline with your goals, they're just ideas. They're just dreams. They're just ideas. It's not a plan. It's not a plan unless there's a date attached to it. Set a deadline on when this goal is going to be accomplished. Then I want you to make a list of all of the things it's going to take to accomplish this goal. Okay? From there, you're going to make a checklist. This is the plan of action. This is where the magic happens. So as much as I'm so much into manifestation and believing that the universe will give me great things if you stay grateful and positive, that is a huge belief of mine. Goals need actions. It's not just about manifestation. It's about putting in the work to make sure that these goals come to fruition. So you've made your checklist now. From there, this is where you take action. So every single day, there is something that you now need to do from that checklist that goes back to the beginning of the goal that you set with the deadline. It's baby steps, okay? Let's talk about weight, for example. If you want to lose 20 pounds, that's not easy to do. But if you take your goals and your plan of action of doing 15 minutes of cardio every day, going for a walk with your best friend every day for the next 8 months, set that as a goal, put it in your calendar, and then things will start to come to fruition from there. Something else that I do every year is I set a word for myself that is my intention for the year, and I live by that word. So this year, my word was respect. And there were people around me that I felt very disrespected by. They were long relationships, and I felt that I couldn't sever them because I had been in these relationships for so long. And what would that look like? And of course, it's scary because it changes your life completely. It shatters it, it turns it completely upside down. And like I said, we're all afraid of change. But I will tell you that the unknown and the uncertainty and what comes after that, once you sever those ties, is the most magical place you will ever be in. So if this resonates with anyone that feels that they can't, you can. You absolutely can. You can sever that cord. So my word was respect for the year. I chose to respect myself and value myself, and I removed people from my table that no longer deserved a seat. I do this with my team as well. We usually have a phrase. Our phrase for 2024 was, "We are enough." Myself and my team, we go over and above on everything that we do. And I think sometimes we overthink things. We feel that we need to give way too much when sometimes we're getting the bare minimum in return. And, I'm talking in general, whether it be partners that we work with, companies that we work with. And sometimes we just have to sit back and say, we're more than enough. So we get a beautiful designed postcard that everyone gets at the beginning of the year. And that is something that we remind each other and hold each other accountable throughout the year. And that's what we did for all of 2024. We are more than enough. So if we would be on meetings and someone would start speaking up about, for example, I'm going to talk about one of my issues was there were some bottles. And I was like, this isn't good enough. I don't like this. This is not, what I saw, what I envisioned. It needs to be higher end. It needs to be this. And my team just looked at me and they're like, Luba, you are more than enough. This is more than enough. This is absolutely stunning. Like you need to stop with this. So this is a really beautiful way for the business owners that are out there or anyone that leads a team to come up with something at the beginning of the year and then hold each other accountable in a really beautiful, fun, and positive way without it coming across like, I don't know, reprimanding or I don't know what word I want to use for that, but it just comes across really beautiful because everyone is on the same page. So there's a new slogan for this year. The team doesn't even know yet. I'll be presenting it at our retreat. And this is something that I really, really love within our culture at Bright. We are more than enough. So I hope these goal setting tips helped you guys. Thank you for such a beautiful year. Thanks for tuning into our podcast for the last few years. Appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I wish you all the best in the new year. Happy holidays. Talk soon.